Made a couple of changes from their last league lineup. That was a 0-0 draw against Stoke in the week. Daryl Janmat and Marvin Ziegler come in. Out go Tom Cleverley and Christian Moses, and Zappa Costa will be their wing backs. Conte and Bakayoko in midfield. Willian and Pedro behind Eden Hazard up front. Calling Pedro twice now. I will get his name right during commentary.
And that's one of the easy ones.
Kick off just a few seconds late. Javi Gracia has taken his seat in the Watford dugout. It will be the home side in their yellow shirts, black shorts and black socks, shooting from right to left, who will get us off and underway. Chelsea in their predominantly blue strip with their white socks are shooting from left to right. And we've seen the first Watford long ball of the evening. I think with Troy Deeney leading the line up front, the Chelsea defenders can rightly expect to be subject to an aerial bombardment. First touch of the game for the orange-shirted Thibaut Courtois. He's played it short to Azpilicueta inside the penalty area. Then David Luiz rolls it to Moses, who has started as the right wing-back. We did wonder if perhaps he may switch over to the left in the absence of Alonso, but it looks like Zappa Costa is filling in for the Spaniard. Alonso, such an important player at both ends of the pitch for Antonio Conte this season. He scored 6 goals. In fact, almost half of Chelsea's Premier League goals have been scored by Spaniards. Here is David Luiz.
When they play with the 3 central defenders, there's no one better down that left-hand side than Alonso. You know, as you said, can grab you a goal. He's full of energy, pacey.
Conte trying to play the long ball forward over to that left-hand side, but he put too much pace on it and it trickles harmlessly behind for a goal kick, which Karnezis, the Greek international, continuing to deputise for the injured Aurelio Gomez, will take.
Gomez has been missed, I think he's so important to this Watford team.
A late change in the referee tonight. Craig Pawson was down to take charge of this game, but Mike Dean is actually the man in the middle. That will be good news for Chelsea, because Craig Pawson sent off 2 of their players in their opening day defeat at home to Burnley. Long ball forward from Karnezis, chested down by Deeney inside the centre circle, but David Luiz regains possession for Chelsea. We've played 3 minutes. You're listening to Premier League Live. It remains Watford 0, Chelsea 0 as Courtois sprays it out to the left and Zappa Costa. Look a bit lethargic, you and Chelsea, in these early exchanges.
And the problem they've got, you look at the 3 that they've got up front, Hazard, Pedro and Willian. You have to play a certain way. There's no point lumping long balls up towards the 3. They're not going to win anything in the air, and Watford have started by pressing quite high up, which has forced on a couple of occasions, I think, David Luiz with one long ball that was easily dealt with by Mariappa. It's a good tactic by Watford to put the 3 central defenders under pressure.
There's Janmat with a cross into the area. Richarlison was the target. Azpilicueta did just enough to steer the ball away. It's crossed back in towards Deeney. Appeals for a handball inside that Chelsea penalty area. Hooked away in the end by Zappa Costa. But this is a really bright start from the Hornets.
Going to pepper those crosses into that Chelsea penalty box, and hoping that Troy Deeney can get on the end of one. And if he can't, maybe he can just knock it down.
And the appeal was against Gary Cahill. We're watching a replay now as the cross was thrust back in from the left-hand side. Oh, he did handle it, Cahill.
Both hands are up. Definitely comes off his hand, Gary Cahill. Quite fortunate that Mike Dean didn't blow his whistle and points to the penalty spot. I think he's got away with that one.
What was equally surprising was that
not too many
half-hearted nature of the appeals from the Watford players.
Watford players appealed.
Big moment early on in this game.
I think set pieces could be vital for Watford tonight as well, in an attacking sense. In the final third, corner kicks at a big, strong side. Chelsea not the biggest. Okay, the 3 central defenders, they're strong in the air, but not much in that sense through the others.
Here's Cahill, plays it back to David Luiz, who's been in and out of the team in recent months. David Luiz, after a reported fallout with Antonio Conte, they were rumours that perhaps he could be off to Arsenal as part of the deal that bought Olivier Giroud to Stamford Bridge. That element never materialised. Here's Bakayoko now into the feet of Willian. Out-muscled Willian by Holibas. David Luiz has it back now inside the Chelsea half of the field, away to our left. Cahill floats it out to this right touchline, and Azpilicueta, arguably Chelsea's player of the season, Cesar Azpilicueta, into the feet of Willian, tries a back heel, but it was intercepted by Etienne Capoue, and then nodded forward by Ziegler. Dini can't hold it up, and Bakayoko retrieves it, and he's passed it straight to Deulofeu. He should have had the beating of Cahill, and sliding out was Thibaut Courtois. That was sloppy from Timu Bakayoko.
That was very sloppy, Bakayoko. And Gary Cahill just leans into Deulofeu as he goes past him. The ball goes past Gary Cahill, and he's not going to win that race, but he's intelligent. He shows his experience just by leaning into the player.
Willian into Hazard with that low centre of gravity, shrugs off Prödl, and then plays a lovely ball out to the left, and Zappacosta, well, he knocked it past Janmaat, but his touch was too heavy.
Very heavy touch.
The goalkeeper Karnazes claims it for Watford.
Very heavy touch. Here we see that poor back pass, Deulofeu onto it straight away, but Gary Cahill, just that left arm comes out far too strong. But a lovely ball from Hazard to the left hand side for Zappacosta, but as you said, a heavy touch. He's beaten the Janmaat.
It's been a difficult introduction to life in the Premier League for David Zappacosta following his summer move, the Italian. Here is Hazard now, right corner of the penalty area. He's got Moses overlapping, but Hazard turns infield instead. He was trying to shift the ball onto his left foot, but Watford were aware of the danger, and Capoue stepped in to win it back. Here he is, Capoue in the left wing position. Was he tripped by Azpilicueta? Yes, he was, according to Mike Dean, and it will be a free kick for Watford. We've had the first tweet of the evening. Peter Georges says he's listening in Uganda, embarrassed by Chelsea's weak performance against Bournemouth. Let's turn it around and beat these guys. Chelsea hammered by 3-0 at the Bridge in one of the surprise scorelines of the season against Eddie Howe's men on Wednesday night. Bournemouth good value for the win as well. Pedro hooks it clear for Chelsea. Only Hazard anywhere near the Watford half of the field, so Prödl volleys it back towards the visiting penalty area. Cleared away by Moses, and it will be collected now by Ziegler down the left. A little back heel from Dini, tried to release Richarlison. Azpilicueta taps it back to his goalkeeper, but they can't keep the ball, Chelsea, just at the moment. And here's Janmaat into the feet of Capoue inside the centre circle. Holibas plays it down the left-hand side to Ziegler. Poor ball from him, but Conte's given it straight back. And here is Richarlison cutting in from the left. And he tries to float it out to the right-hand side where Janmaat was lurking. Janmaat with the ball into the area. Azpilicueta headed it clear, but it's a shot from the edge of the box by Decoro. He timed it wrong, and it will be a goal kick for Chelsea.
Just doesn't get hold of it, Decoro. And it's good pressure by Watford. I think they've started the game better than Chelsea. They're moving the ball better. Chelsea very sloppy in possession. But he'll be bitterly disappointed. 7 Premier League goals already. Decoro just cuts across that ball. And it's a poor. He's disappointed with it in the end. Very, very good season the young man is having. It's been a good start for 8 minutes we've had in this first half. It's been a good start, good positive start. Not playing like a team that have only won once in their last 12 outings.
Here's Capoue after Chelsea had given it away again. Finds Deulofeu inside the penalty area. He's taking on David Luiz, and he smashed the right-footed effort into the side netting when he had 2 Watford players crying out for a pass.
Bakayoko once again sloppy in possession. Good ball to free Deulofeu down that right-hand side. David Luiz doesn't do enough, but it's poor in the end. He's got to surely pull that ball across that 6-yard box. He's got 3 Watford players in that box, and instead he sloppily shoots into the side net. And another poor pass by Chelsea. Yeah,
Willian this time intercepted, and here's Richarlison into the area, trying to get a shot away with the right foot, blocked by Conte, and it will be a corner for Watford. Chelsea are rocking early on here at Vicarage Road.
Positive start, isn't it? Positive start, but they've been helped by some very poor passing from Chelsea. Richarlison, you can see what he wants to do. He wants to cut inside. Azpilicueta lets him cut inside.
It's been a while since he scored. Richarlison, no goals in his last 15 for the Brazilian, who started the season in such good form, but well, looks like he could be in the mood to end that barren run tonight. He's won his team a corner. Prödl and Mariappa call forward from the back. Deulofeu on his home debut is going to take this corner, and he's found Deeney at the far post. Oh, what a chance for Troy Deeney. Unmarked, 6 yards out. It was almost like it took him by surprise how much time he had inside that penalty area, and he scuffed the shot harmlessly wide.
I spoke about set pieces, and that was absolutely worth the treat. He's come from the near post to the back post. No one's gone with him. Azpilicueta's picking him up. He's been blocked. He sees it all the way as well. He sees it all the way to his foot. And it's a horrible volley in the end by Troy Deeney. It's a gilt-edged chance. He has to be hitting the target. It's as simple as that.
Massive opportunity for the Watford captain. He hasn't scored from open play since April.
Won the ball again in midfield. Doucouré this time being Bakayoko in the air.
Bakayoko, to his credit, does win it back on this occasion. And now it's with Azpilicueta just outside the Chelsea penalty area. These first 11 minutes have absolutely flown by.
It's
and
been
they've been dominated by Watford. Antonio Conte, always so animated on the touchline, is gesticulating, trying to get a message across to his players. Grazia has got a few yards to his left with his hands in his pockets. Here's Pedro, 5 yards outside the Watford area. Sweeps it out to Moses. Moses with a chance to cross from the right, and it's only clear as far as Willian. And from 8 yards out, he gets underneath the shot and hammers it high into the crowd behind the Watford goal.
Their first real chance. Moses down that right-hand side gets his cross. Holebas doesn't really deal with it. Should be doing better, Holebas, and it bounces straight to Willian on the half volley. Doesn't get his body over it, and a player with his talent, I'm sorry, but he should be doing better.
Just a warning sign for Javi Grazia, the globe-trotting new man at the helm at Vicarage Road. It's his 10th job in the dugout. He's managed in Spain, Greece and in Russia most recently. Made his name taking charge of Malaga. Here's Deulofeu looking for Richarlison on the edge of the penalty area, and Azpilicueta did just enough. The offside flag was up anyway.
Great defending by Azpilicueta. He sees the run nice and early. He goes with the run of Richarlison down that left-hand side. Is he offside? I'm not too sure he is. Linesman's put his flag up, but he would have got it anyway. Fantastic defending by Azpilicueta. Something that you do say quite a lot these days.
He's a terrific servant for Chelsea. The man the players simply know as Dave. Here is Doucouré looking for Deeney on the halfway line. Cahill slides in and prods it back into the Watford half. Now it's going to go all the way back to Karnezis in his sky blue goalkeeping outfit. There's plenty of distance on the clearance. David Luiz stoops and heads it back in towards the Watford half, where Pedro will collect it for Chelsea and then keeps possession by playing it back to Cahill. David Luiz looking for the more forward ball into the feet of Hazard. He had 3 Watford players surrounding him, and one of them in Prödl came away with the ball. Hazard took a whack on the ankle as well.
I mean, it's a really good ball into it by David Luiz. The way the pass was absolutely superb.
14 minutes gone. Watford 0, Chelsea 0. Conte out-muscles Richarlison into Hazard. Tries to backheel it for Pedro, but didn't have enough pace on it. Janmaat plays it back upfield for Watford, where Azpilicueta will side-foot it back to his goalkeeper Courtois, the 6'6" Belgian international. He's only conceded 19 goals in the Premier League this season, Courtois. He could have added to that tally already tonight with a gilt-edged chance for Deeney, but he couldn't hit the target. Just looks a little bit off the pace, Troy Deeney. Looks to me, Ewan, as if he might be carrying a bit of extra timber as well.
He looks slightly heavy, doesn't he? Hasn't really been in the side for one reason or another. And that's the last thing that comes, but that sharpness in front of goal. It doesn't matter how much finishing you do in training. Your fitness is fine, you can last 90 minutes, but it's that sharpness when a chance falls at your feet. are you going to be able to take it? Deeney wasn't able to.
Ball forward for Chelsea, cleared away by Holibas and flicked on by Deeney to Richarlison. He's going to try and take on Azpilicueta, and he's got away from the Chelsea defender. Still has the ball, Richarlison down by the corner flag and crossing it into the area. Decore was the nearest Watford player to the ball, and Zappacosta took no chances and just smashes it into the stand on the far side.
I think Richarlison's got a chance just to put it in first time with his left foot. I think Deeney's made a great run into that Chelsea penalty box. Just put it in. You don't need to bring it back onto your right foot, because by the time you've done that, there's more blue shirts in that penalty box ready to defend the cross coming in.
16 on the clock. We await the first goal in this London derby, just 17 miles between Stamford Bridge and Vicarage Road. Chelsea fans have travelled in great number to try and roar their team onto victory, to maintain their stranglehold on a place in the top four. Willian goes to ground on the edge of the centre circle, but no free kick according to Mike Dean, and it's with Decore now. Chips it forward for Deeney. Deeney tried to lay it off for Ziegler. Forces Ziegler all the way back into his own half, but Watford still have it with Prödl. Here is Adrian Mariappa, making his 14th start in the Premier League this season. Mariappa tonight, it's the most he's made in 4 seasons. Zappacosta with a throw for Chelsea, over on the left-hand side. Pedro trying to make a bit of room for himself, but in stepped Decore to wrestle back possession for Watford, and it's now with Richarlison just inside the Chelsea half. He's got space again to have a run at Azpilicueta. Richarlison into the area. His cross was blocked by Azpilicueta, and Watford have their second corner of these opening 17 minutes.
Did well that time, Richarlison, under pressure to Moses and Azpilicueta, putting pressure on him, and he'd seen the run of Deeney this time. Tried to put an early ball in. He's got some thighs, I think, Azpilicueta. Deary me, he doesn't miss a leg day.
He's picking up Troy Deeney for this corner, which is an interesting move from Antonio Conte. It's from the same side of the field this season. Mariappa near to the line where Delafeu almost conjured the opener for Deeney a few minutes ago. He's taken it short on this occasion. Holibas away from Conte, but a bit of a waste really as far as Watford are concerned, and then a foul by Holibas, and it will be a free kick for Chelsea.
It's such a waste when you think from their first corner Deeney should be scoring in my opinion from 6 yards out. For some reason they decide to take the short one. Holibas isn't looking, and in the end it comes to nothing.
Javi Grazia is just having a discussion with his backroom staff, maybe making exactly that point. Here's Cahill bringing the ball away for Chelsea, midway inside his own half. The experienced England international. Antonio Conte still out issuing his instructions, and he's given away again. Richarlison, can he get a shot away this time? Brilliant block by Cahill. But how many times in these opening 18 minutes of Chelsea been the masters of their own downfall?
Seems to be that man on the ball there. Bakayoko once again has given it away so sloppily.
He's had an absolute shocker, hasn't he, so far? He has won it back for Chelsea though, Bakayoko, and he's accelerated away from Capu into the feet of Zappacosta. Azar, he's going to float the cross towards the far post. Moses can bring it down inside the penalty area. Azar completely unmarked. If Moses can give it back to the Belgian, he slipped as he went to play it in, but it's still with Willian. Plenty of yellow shirts back behind the ball. Azar again has peeled away to the left. Willian couldn't find him, and then Delafeu has taken one in the face. So the referee is going to have to call a halt to proceedings. The ball cannoned away for a Chelsea throw anyway.
Victor Moses then, I mean, lovely first touch, great ball across the penalty box from Eden Hazard, and he has a lovely first touch, Moses, and he just doesn't want to cross the ball. He looks up and he thinks, well, I don't fancy any of the Chelsea players in that box to win the header. That is a real problem for them when they haven't really got a centre forward worth a big, strong, Morata's good, strong in the air, the same as Giroud, there is a reluctance to cross that ball.
Cahill finds Moses once again down the right hand side. Appeals from handball, more from the Watford players than, sorry, the Watford fans more than the players on the pitch. Chelsea have a throw 5 yards from the right corner flag. Moses has picked out Azar. He's being forced back towards his own half. Azar into the feet of Conte.
Great pressure from Broden.
Now Moses again has got some space. Willian making the run just ahead of the right wing back. Here's Azpilicueta. Back to Willian. Watford a bit overrun here. Conte with a chance maybe to put it into the area. Try to guide it to Zappacosta. It's over his head and away for a Watford throw. Really, that's in keeping.
It's a waste.
How sloppy Chelsea have been so far.
Such a waste. And you know, Willian's got a great chance to put the ball, to cross the ball. Doesn't want to pass his responsibility. This is that chance again for Richarlison. Great block by Gary Cahill. Bakayoko really started the game sloppily. Great block though by Gary Cahill.
He's a player, Bakayoko, who has felt the fury of the Chelsea fans in recent weeks, and well, they won't be too pleased with the way he started this game as Troy Deeney goes down. Deeney just feeling his back, having landed awkwardly as he went up with Cahill. Cahill was climbing all over the Watford centre forward.
Yeah, it's hurt his lower back. Gary Cahill, both hands on Troy Deeney's shoulders. Not sure if the referee has given a free kick to Watford. I think it'd be okay to carry on, but it can be painful it can be more painful as the game goes along.
We've reached the midway point of the first half. It remains Watford 0, Chelsea 0. Don't forget you can tweet us tonight at TalkSport Live. Lots of you getting in touch already. We'll read those out throughout the evening. Chelsea try and play it long towards the Watford penalty area. Mariappa defending diligently, and then it's hooked forward by Deeney, and under pressure from Deulofeu, David Luiz with no option but to touch the ball into the stand for a throw.
I mean, the Watford back three, they will cope with them long balls all night long. It's the ones that's played into the feet of Hazard and Pedro and Willian. When they can turn, they can show their sharpness. That's what they don't want.
Doucouré back to Janmat over on the right touchline. He's got Deeney in support inside the penalty area, but he can get it out from under his feet. Troy Deeney
did the first bit superbly. Troy Deeney got hold of the ball, held David Luiz off the ball, but then having had this touch and control the ball, he's just got to pass it to a yellow shirt.
Here's the white-booted Azpilicueta for Chelsea. David Luiz with that floppy hair, plays it out to Cahill. Cahill slowly makes his way into the Watford half and gives it back to David Luiz. Here's Azpilicueta once more. Hazard's made a good run. Couldn't find him, Azpilicueta. I think he was actually trying to pick out Pedro to the Belgians' left, but out came Karnezis and collects the ball in his red gloves.
I think everything is far too slow for Chelsea at the minute. I think there's no urgency in their passing, in their tempo. Haven't really got into any type of rhythm in the opening 23 minutes of this first half.
Here's Conte, bring it down for Chelsea on the halfway line. Conte manages to outmaneuver Doucouré, but it's won back by Capoue only momentarily. Zappacosta now back to Cahill. Here comes David Luiz towards the centre circle. No real pace about Chelsea's play in the first 24 minutes here on Premier League Live.
And Watford more than happy, everything's in front of them. You know, they're all dropping back into their own half to defend in numbers, getting men behind the ball, forcing Watford all the way back to their goalkeeper.
David Luiz into Bakayoko. That usually spells trouble, and it has again because he's been challenged by Capoue. Doucouré tries to switch it out to this left-hand side where Richarlison was jumping. The referee has pulled it back here for a foul. I think it was Bakayoko on Capoue after the initial coming together, just holding his ankle. They paid £40 million to sign Timu Bakayoko.
I mean, it's great pressure by Capoue to win the ball back, and I think he's unlucky, is Bakayoko. It's not intentional. He falls over, and as he falls over, all his weight goes on that left ankle of Capoue, and rightly, no yellow card, but he's at an absolute... Has he been... I think he has been booked. I think he's slightly unlucky, Bakayoko. I don't think it was intentional. I think he slips, he falls, and he lands on that left ankle rather than it being a clumsy challenge. Doesn't look happy man at all, does he?
Antonio Conte just wiping the sweat from his brow. It's been a really disappointing first 25 minutes. The only positive for Chelsea, I suppose, is that they haven't conceded a goal yet. Olibas will try and change that from the free kick. Prudhomme and Mariappa again sent forward. Capoue, Richarlison and Deeney all lurking on the edge of the area. Bakayoko should win the header against Prudhomme. Can only head it behind for a corner.
Did well though, Bakayoko. Prudhomme's big and strong. He's much taller than the Chelsea midfielder. Just gets the last touch just before Prudhomme comes on and to power that header back into that Chelsea 6-yard box.
Deulofeu wearing gloves tonight. It is a chilly evening in the capital. He's going to take the corner. Watford's third of the game from the left-hand side. It was a poor delivery, but Bakayoko almost sent it veering back towards his own goal. In the end, it goes out for another corner.
They haven't got anybody on the near post, have they, Chelsea? And it's Bakayoko that rushes across that 6-yard box. But it wasn't a good ball in by Deulofeu. Very, very poor. Wasted, in fact.
He's going to get another go here, the former Evertonian.
Plenty of options for Watford. 4 men in that 6-yard box. Just need good delivery coming in. So again, Holebas has shown for that short one. I don't think he'll be getting it again.
Richarlison has perched himself in front of the goalkeeper Courtois. Deulofeu with a good delivery.
That's a
good punch by the Belgian.
Well dealt with by Courtois, but a great ball in this time. Pace, power, good height.
Champions pen back on the edge of their own penalty area. Watford have a throw. Deulofeu is going to leave it for Holebas. Puts the ball underneath his jersey just to wipe it of any moisture. And then goes right to the edge of the advertising hoardings. He's going to hoist this into the penalty area. Jose Holebas. In fact, in the end, Deulofeu comes short and Chelsea didn't really pick him up. Gives it back to Holebas, who does cross this time straight into the gloves of Courtois. And maybe now he can launch a counter-attack. He's bowled it out to Pedro down the left. Not too many blue shirts ahead of him, but he does find Azar with his back to goal. Azar out to the right-hand side, and Azpilicueta. Here is Willian. Finds Moses on the overlap. Only Azar in the vicinity of the Watford penalty area. Pedro has joined him now as it's with N'Golo Conte halfway inside the Hornets half. Pedro then with a lovely ball round the corner for Zappacosta. Needs a good delivery from the wing-back. It's not a bad cross either. Moses helps it on to Pedro, who shoots. He's hit the post. But Moses was coming from an offside position.
I think
it wouldn't have counted.
I think he might have handed it as well, Victor Moses. But a lovely blind pass by Pedro to the left-hand side. And it's a good ball in by Zappacosta. But yeah, handball in the end by Victor Moses.
Let's have a look at some of the tweaks that have been coming our way in these opening 29 minutes. It remains Watford 0, Chelsea 0. Listening on Beat FM, Ibadan says, wishing Giroud good luck on his Chelsea debut. Watford 2, Chelsea 3 is his score prediction. Eden Hazard should get his first goal against Watford, but hasn't been convincing, says Emmanuel.
Just don't think they've got the ball up to him.
Samafa not alone by any means in saying, I don't know why Conte keeps starting Bakayoko. The guy should be given out on loan. Maybe he'll just improve there.
But as you pointed out earlier, when you've spent that much money and maybe you have been complaining about a lack of investment in the squad, when you've spent that £40 million on Bakayoko, he's off.
It's a yellow card for Bakayoko, and it's his second of these opening half hour, and it's a red card for Timu Bakayoko. He went flying into a challenge inside the centre circle. Well, I think he's booked him twice in quick succession because it was a foul on the edge of his own penalty area. The referee tried to play an advantage, and then he's gone diving in again, Bakayoko.
Well, he was booked, unluckily in my opinion, with the first yellow card when he fell onto I mean, that's a late one on Richarlison. That is a yellow card. You know, he can't have he's had a heavy touch once again, and Richarlison's just nicked the ball, and he's caught him. That is a yellow card, but I think the first one where he slipped and landed awkwardly on Capue's ankle, I think he's very unlucky to receive that yellow card, but he's had an absolute disaster of half an hour.
That might be the worst half an hour I've ever seen from a Premier League footballer.
I don't think he's passed to a blue shirt.
Incredible. The only performance I can relate to it, do you remember when Aboué was playing for Arsenal and he was actually being booed by his own fans at the Emirates, and having come on as a substitute, he was taken off by Arsenal.
There's nothing worse than coming on as a sub and then being sub.
Well, this performance from Bakayoko is right up there, and the former Monaco man has been booked twice in quick succession, and he's been shown a red card. And Antonio Conte, who is under real pressure coming into this game, well, he will be feeling the heat now, because Chelsea, with 10 men, have an hour left to see out this game at Vicarage Road, and they've been far from their best already.
I don't think he's seen the first yellow card. You know,
the referee?
Bakayoko. I think that's what.
Well, I have to confess, I didn't see it either.
I only saw it because it came up on the screen. Because I didn't think it was a yellow card incident. In all honesty with you, but I don't think he's seen Mike Dean showing him the yellow card, and that's why he's shocked to receive a second yellow card, and then all of a sudden the red card.
Here's Conte. I don't think it would be too unfair to say that Chelsea are probably strengthened by the absence of Bakayoko. Despite the fact they're a man light.
Trying to get Cesc Fabregas on, aren't they, just to go alongside Kante.
Here's Cahill now, stepping forward over the halfway line, trying to find Hazard, but it was Capoue. What do they sliding into block.
Do they change to a back four and go 4-4-1, or do they take either Pedro or Willian off and keep the five at the back?
Big call from Antonio Conte coming up as it's thrust forward towards Pedro. Mariappa out jumps the Spaniard. It's back now with Karnazes, who plays it towards the halfway line. Richarlison with space to win the flick. David Luiz steps in ahead of Deeney, and here's Moses now down the Chelsea right hand side. We've got 12.5 minutes to go until half time, and this dramatic Premier League weekend continues. Timu Bakayoko sent off for Chelsea inside the opening half an hour, and I think you're dead right, Ewan. He didn't see the first yellow card, and actually Mike Dean was explaining to him, yes, I booked you for that challenge. He was pointing to where it took place.
He could have no complaints with the second yellow card. He's late,
but probably wouldn't have made that challenge had he have known his name was already in the book.
Possibly, because he was always stretching. He was never going to get to the ball first. That is a really good point, Alex, that whether he'd have been sucked into making that challenge.
Certainly a talking point. Eden Hazard is sent tumbling by Prudhomme. Free kick for Chelsea, 7 or 8 yards inside the Watford half. Eden Hazard, who scored 3 goals in his last 4 matches. His last 4 goals have all been away from Stamford Bridge. Antonio Conte in deep conversation with a member of his backroom staff as he continues to prepare for the substitution. Fabregas stripped ready for action in front of the Sir Elton John stand over on the far side of the ground.
Great challenge from Mariappa on Pedro. Just as that ball reaches Pedro, he's there. Strong challenge.
Willian is the player who will be forced to make way for Fabregas. Looks a bit disgruntled, Willian, as he slowly trots across the touchline.
He hasn't done a great deal in 33 minutes, we have to say that, Willian, and he is having a disappointing season. Just the 4 goals, 4 Premier League goals to his name, and he's been sacrificed. He knows that it doesn't help. He'll be frustrated, he'll be disappointed, he'll be slightly angry, but it's not the manager's fault, it's his teammates. Bakayoko
10 minutes to go until half-time. Watford 0, Chelsea 0. Still that Troy Deeney effort wide of target. The closest either side have come to scoring. We've seen very little from Chelsea in the way of an attacking force.
But that half volley from the man that's just left the pitch, Willian, didn't get his body over the ball, did he?
They're a far cry from the team who at this stage last season were 8 points clear at the top of the table. Richarlison has just stung the palms of Courtois with a long-range effort.
Really good shot, plenty of power, just straight at the goalkeeper. Nice little 1-2. The Kure hits it first time. It's bending all the time, but sadly for Watford, straight at the goalkeeper.
7 attempts from Watford, just a 1 for Chelsea. Here is Ziegler. Kure floats it perfectly out to the right-hand side where Janmaat brings it down from the sky, and he's going to cross here. Janmaat, Richarlison was the target at the far post. Moses did really well to get his body between the Brazilian and the ball. He's gone out for a throw on this near side.
Great defending by Victor Moses. He knows that Richarlison is right behind him. It's a good ball in from that right-hand side, right to the back post. But as I said, very, very good defending by Victor Moses. And I would expect now both wing-backs, Janmaat and Ziegler for Watford, to have plenty of the ball.
Olibas is being applauded by one of the Watford mascots as he launches the throw into the penalty area, just being cajoled. Fabregas, with his first touch into coming on, clears it away. Only as far as Decore though on this left-hand side. Fabregas can't win back the ball, and it's with Capoue 15 yards or so inside the Chelsea half. Finds Delafeu inside the centre circle, poked out to Janmaat. Zappacosta slides in and wins it back, and then Janmaat clipped the heels of Pedro. Conte bellowing at the referee, Mike Dean. The free kick has been awarded. Conte was calling for a yellow card. Not much in that, in my opinion.
I don't think there is. He's trying to get back. Slight push. Pedro goes down. It's a free kick. Of course it is. But no, not a yellow card for me.
Mike Dean is coming over to Antonio Conte, just to put him to calm down, I think. Let me referee the game, I think is the message from Mike Dean.
It wasn't a push like that, Antonio, I'm afraid. They came together. Janmaat just trying to get across. Pedro feels slightly hard done by this Antonio Conte at the minute. I think the world's against him.
Wearing a snood to shield himself from the February chill. Never suave Italian. Here is David Luiz now out to the left of Cahill. Just a lack of leadership for Chelsea out there from what we've seen so far. As Courtois plays a clearance straight into touch.
Doesn't look
thoroughly unhappy.
Doesn't look a happy man whatsoever.
He looks like he's lost a tenner and found a pound. It's Mariappa now in possession for Watford with 8 minutes to go to the break. 0-0 at Vicarage Road, but Watford will be far the happier with their performance. Prudel into Mariappa, the Jamaican international. Capoue trying to play a 1-2 with Janmaat. The return ball was a bit too heavy. N'Golo Conte comes marauding forward for Chelsea. Hazard knew he was offside, so left it for Zappacosta, who gobbled up the ground, then plays it back to Hazard. Hazard with Delafeu for company, holds him off easily enough. Now Victor Moses down this right-hand side, back to Azpilicueta in the white boots. Goes all the way back to David Luiz inside his own half. Better possession this from Chelsea. Conte urging his side to get higher up the pitch.
I just think the way they're playing now, they've got two up front with Pedro and Hazard. I wouldn't be surprised at the start of the second half we see Oliver Giroud partnering Hazard up front. I think it'll be a better option for him.
Fabregas into the feet of Hazard. Couldn't lay it off for Pedro, and Watford have a throw. Olivier Giroud just taking a sip from the water bottle. He will be desperate to get out there and play his part, having swapped the Arsenal substitutes bench for one at Vicarage Road at the moment. Of course, he has a tremendous record of scoring goals when he comes on. He's Prödl now for Watford into Holibas. Charleston just inside the Chelsea half. He turned away brilliantly from Azpilicueta, and he's released Ziegler down the left. Moses intercepted the cross and swipes it clear towards the halfway line. Fabregas beaten by Decore, wants a free kick for a high foot, not given by Mike Dean, and Decore now switches it out to the right. Mariappa, everybody in a yellow shirt, camped inside the Chelsea half. As we move into the final 5 minutes of a so far goalless opening period of Vicarage Road. Prödl into Mariappa. Mariappa has found Janmaat on the touchline. Decore tried to guide it into the path of Deulofeu, but it was Cahill who picked up possession for Chelsea, and then David Luiz has shown too much of it to Janmaat. Janmaat with a little flick cross over the head of Richarlison and Deeney, and it's volleyed away by Moses.
Oh, by David Luiz, but the disappointing thing for Watford when that ball is delivered into that Chelsea penalty box, just the one yellow shirt in there, not enough options.
Janmaat looking for Deulofeu, who's running behind Cahill, and he goes down under the challenge from Thibaut Courtois. It is a penalty to Watford, and this miserable night goes from bad to worse for Antonio Conte and the 10-man champions. You could see it coming. Once Deulofeu had escaped his marker, Courtois was always going to bring him down.
It's a great ball by Daryl Janmaat. It's a great run by Deulofeu. He's completely lost Tim Cahill, who's been caught asleep, and once you come rushing out like Courtois does, he doesn't touch the ball.
It's very similar to the Harry Kane incident against Loris Karius yesterday, which caused so much controversy.
He was pleading his case, was Courtois, that there wasn't a touch.
You just can't do that as a goalkeeper, though. Come rushing out, lead with the arm. If there's the slightest bit of contact, the player is going to go down.
Now then, Troy Deeney, talking about your sharpness in front of the goal when you missed that chance from 6 yards out.
Well, he's just kissed the ball, Deeney.
He's now 12 yards out.
As he places it on the spot. A huge moment for both these clubs. Troy Deeney against Thibaut Courtois, and Deeney gives Watford the lead. He looks to the heavens. It could be a goal that transforms the Hornets season and plunges Antonio Conte closer to the exit door at Stamford Bridge, because with 4 minutes to go in this first half, it is Watford 1, Chelsea 0.
It's a well taken penalty by Troy Deeney in the end. Absolutely no chance for Courtois, who sort of just stands in the middle of his goal and does nothing in the end. It's well struck, it's kept low, and no chance for the Chelsea goalkeeper.
Well, he may not have scored from open play for 25 games, Troy Deeney, but he is deadly from 12 yards.
I mean, there's not much contact, but as you say, once a goalkeeper comes out like that and he forces a forward to have to jump over him, and if that forward then falls down, you're asking the referee to make a decision, and Mike Dean, really helped by his linesman on that side, it took a second or two to think about it. It looked like a penalty in all honesty, and looking at this first half, 43 minutes gone, it's probably what Watford deserve.
Here's Deulofeu in the centre circle, knocks it a couple of yards back to Decore. Watford will just want to keep the ball now and see out the last couple of minutes of the first 45. That's their first goal in more than 5 hours of Premier League football. The first goal of the Javi Gracia reign.
Can they keep a clean sheet now? Clean sheet wins them the game. The one against Stoke was the first one they had in their last 12 league outings. So it's not something that they've done on a consistent level this season. That will give Chelsea, a glimmer of hope. But I can't help but feel that Chelsea would be far better if they had a striker of Oliver Giroud up front of his quality.
Hazard trying to make something happen. He finds Pedro inside the centre circle. Pedro was fouled.
just got the feeling that the next free kick for Chelsea from a Watford player was always going to end up in a yellow card. It was Troy Deeney. The ball had gone. He was slightly late.
I think it was Richarlison, actually.
Richarlison, I'm sorry.
It looked like he was booking Deeney, but I think Richarlison is actually a Watford player who's been added to Mike Dean's notepad. Been an eventful night for Mike Dean, having sent off Bakayoko for 2 yellow cards, awarded a penalty, from which Deeney has given Watford the lead. You have to go all the way back to 1999 for Watford's only Premier League victory against Chelsea. That was a 1-0 scoreline. Alan Smart with a winner. Here's Deulofeu trying to double the trouble for Chelsea before half-time. Crosses into the area. Ziegler keeps it alive on the left-hand side, into Decore on the edge of the box. Now Deulofeu again. He's been a real handful. On this occasion, his cross is blocked by David Luiz Capoue with a shot steered behind by Azpilicueta. And as we move into 2 added minutes at the end of the first half, Watford have their 5th corner.
Alex, I just thought as that ball lands to Ziegler's left foot in the penalty box, I'm just thinking, go and smash it first time. But he takes the touch, and then there's too many blue shirts in front of him. He can't get his shot on goal. He has to pull the ball sideways. Watford turning the screw at the end of this first half.
2-0 will be a long way back for Chelsea. As Holibas lines up for the corner. Left-footed in, swinging towards the near post. For a moment I thought it was going straight in. He's into the side netting.
I thought it was going straight in, but Courtois, he was confident. And once again, I don't think Chelsea had anybody on that near post. Here's the goal again. It's a great run by Deulofeu. Tim Cahill caught asleep. Courtois comes rushing out, slides down, no contact on the ball. He fought, and I think maybe with his elbow on,
it's almost identical to Harry Kane at Anfield yesterday. Here is Moses. One last chance for Chelsea before the break. Moses has found Pedro in the area. Pedro shoots over the crossbar, and that sums up a pitiful opening 45 minutes for the champions.
Wild in the end by Pedro. Good strong run by Victor Moses. Good strength. Feeds Pedro, foot over the ball, goes on his left foot. Shocking shot in the end.
They were caught short at the back there, Watford. They're going to have to keep their discipline and keep their diligence. There will inevitably be nerves in the second half when you're on the type of run the Hornets are. But as Mike Dean blows the whistle for half-time, it's been just about the perfect 45 minutes for Javi Gracia in his first home match in charge. Chelsea down to 10 men when the woeful Bakayoko was sent off for a second yellow card on the half hour, and Troy Deeney from the penalty spot after Deulofeu had been sent tumbling by Courtois has given the Hornets what at the start of the game would have seemed an unlikely lead, but a much deserved one on the balance of what we've seen so far. Half time at Vicarage Road. It is Watford 1, Chelsea 0. You are listening to Premier League Live.
Premier League football is a truly global game, and TalkSport is the global audio partner of the Barclays Premier League.
It's a massive goal!
With live commentary of all 380 matches this season, available at TalkSport.com in English, Spanish or Mandarin every weekend.
What a goal! What a fantastic strike!
The event horizon of world-class football. Visit TalkSport.com to find out more.
If you're outside the UK and Ireland, we've got you covered.
Salah into the penalty area. Mo Salah gets it through. Firmino! 3-0. Counter-attacking football at its best. Roberto Firmino.
TalkSport's international service covers every Premier League match live.
Here's Aguero trying to find a way through. Sergio Aguero, as he does so well. Brilliant goal. Marvellous goal by Sergio Aguero.
Full commentary, pre- and post-match analysis, and goals as they go in from every single Premier League match.
Ball comes in towards Willian, breaks back to Pedro. It's 3-0 to Chelsea, and it's all too easy.
Hear goals as they go in from around the grounds during our featured commentary match.
Calvert-Lewin gets it back from Rooney as well. Again, better from Everton. Crosses the middle. It's Lennon with the header this night. The keeper spills it, and Wayne Rooney turns it home.
every game is covered.
Mesut Ozil wants it back. This would be a lovely goal. Mesut Ozil into Olivier Giroud. Arsenal have doubled their advantage. It's a simply superb goal from Arsenal. A beautiful collective move.
Get involved in debates, ask in-game questions to our commentary team, and get goal updates with @TalkSport Live on Twitter.
Here's the corner, swung in well on, the header's in, it's a goal! West Ham have equalised, and Cheku Kouyaté is celebrating. The equaliser for West Ham from the corner in the final minute of the first half.
This is Premier League Live.
Headed away that time by Stevens, and that's deflected and in! Ashley Young with a shot in top of Lewis Dunk, and it curls into the top corner. Ashley Young will take the credit for it, but it's a wicked deflection off of Lewis Dunk.
Kick-by-kick commentary, expert opinion, international coverage of the world's most exciting football league. Premier League Live, brought to you by TalkSport Live.
Go to TalkSport.com and sign up now to play the free TalkSport Predictor game. Predict the results of the English Premier League games this season for the chance to win top-flight weekly prizes. From the Gunners getting away goals at Anfield to epic finishes at the Etihad. Click TalkSport.com/predictor and register now for the chance to go top of the table in the Ultimate Football Fan Tournament. The TalkSport English Premier League Predictor game. Available online and for free at TalkSport.com/predictor.
Welcome back to Premier League Live with TalkSport, coming to you from Vicarage Road, where Watford are taking on Chelsea, looking for only their second league win against the champions since way back in 1987, and so far they are well on course. After Chelsea giving it away again, finds Delafeu inside the penalty area. He's taking on David Luiz, and he smashed the right-footed effort into the side netting when he had two Watford players crying out for a pass. Rödl and Mariappa call forward from the back. Delafeu on his home debut is going to take this corner, and he's found Deeney at the far post. Oh, what a chance for Troy Deeney. Unmarked, 6 yards out. It was almost like it took him by surprise how much time he had inside that penalty area, and he scuffed the shot harmlessly wide. Richarlison, can he get a shot away this time? Brilliant block by Cahill. But how many times in these opening 18 minutes of Chelsea with the masters of their own downfall? It's a yellow card for Bakayoko, and it's his second of these opening half hour, and it's a red card for Timu Bakayoko, who went flying into a challenge inside the centre circle. Yeah, Matt looking for Delafeu, who's running behind Cahill, and he goes down under the challenge from Thibaut Courtois. It is a penalty to Watford, and this miserable night goes from bad to worse for Antonio Conte and the 10-man champions. You could see it coming. A huge moment for both these clubs. Troy Deeney against Thibaut Courtois, and Deeney gives Watford the lead. He looks to the heavens. It could be a goal that transforms the Hornets season and plunges Antonio Conte closer to the exit door at Stamford Bridge, because with 4 minutes to go in this first half, it is Watford 1, Chelsea 0. It was certainly a dramatic first half at Vicarage Road. Watford leading the 10 men of Chelsea by 1-0. Ewan Roberts, the former Leicester and Watford striker, has been watching that with me. And we've just been talking during the break there, Ewan, about the performance from Chelsea. We've seen this a few times in recent seasons when a manager is under pressure. We saw it with Jose Mourinho in the last knockings of his second reign. They look like they're down tools almost. Shrug of the shoulders. They're certainly not playing for their manager, put it that way.
They don't look as if they are. There's a lack of tempo, urgency. The passing has been nowhere near good enough for the team of Chelsea's calibre. And they don't look as if they're working for their manager, and it looks as if they're just waiting for him to leave the football club. And it's such a shame after the success that he had last season with winning the league, the feel-good factor about the football club once again, and they deserve to be a goal behind. I think Watford have looked anything but a team that have only won once in their previous 12 Premier League games, and I think they fully deserve going in at the break winning the game 1-0.
Roman Abramovich is no stranger to pulling the trigger midway through the season. If Chelsea are as bad in that second 45 as they have been up to this point, could Antonio Conte go even before the end of the season? Could he go tomorrow?
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. You know, the 3-0 home hammering from Brentford, you might question, that's a sackable offence in itself. Bournemouth, sorry. You know, losing in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup to Arsenal like they did, not good enough. And that first half performance from Chelsea, nowhere near the standard that's expected from Chelsea Football Club. It's not good enough.
Lots of Chelsea fans getting in touch, understandably, from around the globe tonight. At TalkSport Live is how you can get in touch with myself and Ewan. Conte is going to sack himself because of all his controversial decisions, says Sane. Lots of that ilk, really. Obviously, lots of people reacting to the Bakayoko sending off. Alex in Houston says Conte out. He's listening on Sirius FM. 3 former FC Barcelona products in action: Cesc Fabregas, Pedro and Deulofeu. That's from Isaac Boateng, who's tweeted us at TalkSport Live. I never understood why Conte keeps on fielding Bakayoko. Worst 30 minutes I've ever seen played by a blue shirt. That's from Patrick Andrew. That just summaриses Bakayoko's evening, says Kali Al-Jess. I'm Darlington, listening to you from Port Harcourt, Nigeria, via Niger FM. Hope Watford does the job this night. Bakayoko red carded. Why am I not surprised? I can't remember any worse player in Chelsea history than Bakayoko, says Emmanuel Michael. I'm sure you can, actually.
But he was so poor in that first half. Heavy touches, poor passing, giving the ball away. He looked so slow in possession. Just very, very poor. And we were talking about the 2 yellow cards, and I thought he was slightly unlucky with the first. You didn't, Al, did you? You thought
I thought it was a bit cynical. I thought he had a couple of grabs.
The way he fell in and landed on that ankle of Capoue. The second one, he can have no complaints. You know, he's had a heavy touch. He's stretching. Ball's gone. And he's late. He's caught the player on his toes, and it's a painful one. But he was shocked because I don't think he saw the first yellow card by Mike Dean.
How does a manager, if Antonio Conte is going to stay as Chelsea manager, try and repair Bakayoko's confidence? Because he was absolutely shot away there, wasn't he, for the first half an hour of the game?
I think he needs to be taken out of the team and given a little bit of time on the sideline, on the bench. Because you've read the tweets out there from Chelsea fans. He's getting absolutely slaughtered, and this is a young lad who was magnificent at Monaco, had a terrific Champions League with them. Maybe the price tag is weighing heavily on his shoulders, but yeah, maybe he needs a little bit of time. He's going to get a little bit of time out of the team now with suspension looming.
And of course, he's been signed to replace Nemanja Matic. It's a bit like swapping a Mercedes for a Vauxhall Astra.
Yeah, that's a strange one. Why let Matic go, especially to one of your rivals in Manchester United? Surely you have to get the best out of him. And at the minute, it's just hasn't, that move, letting Matic go to Man U, bringing Bakayoko in, just hasn't worked for Chelsea.
So just the first half that Javier Grazia would have been dreaming of as he put his head down in bed last night. It's been a nightmare for Chelsea, and you feel it's a big 45 minutes ahead for the future of Antonio Conte. Half time at Vicarage Road, Watford 1, 10-man Chelsea 0. You are listening to Premier League Live.
Premier League football is a truly global game, and TalkSport is the global audio partner of the Barclays Premier League.
It's a massive goal!
With live commentary of all 380 matches this season, available at TalkSport.com in English, Spanish or Mandarin every weekend.
What a goal! What a fantastic strike!
The event horizon of world-class football. Visit TalkSport.com to find out more.
If you're outside the UK and Ireland, we've got you covered.
Salah into the penalty area. Mo Salah gets it through. Firmino! 3-0. Counter-attacking football at expense. Roberto Firmino.
TalkSport's international service covers every Premier League match live.
Here's Aguero trying to find a way through. Sergio Aguero, as he does so well. Brilliant goal. the score by Sergio Aguero.
Full commentary, pre- and post-match analysis, and goals as they go in from every single Premier League match.
Ball comes in towards Willian, breaks back to Pedro. It's 3-0 to Chelsea, and it's all too easy.
Hear goals as they go in from around the grounds during our featured commentary match.
Calvert-Lewin gets it back from Rooney as well. Again, better from Everton. Crosses the middle. It's Lennon with the header this time. The keeper spills it, and Wayne Rooney turns it home.
Every game is covered.
Mesut Ozil wants it back. This would be a lovely goal. Mesut Ozil into Olivier Giroud. Arsenal have doubled their advantage. It's a simply superb goal from Arsenal. A beautiful collective move.
Get involved in debates, ask in-game questions to our commentary team, and get goal updates with @TalkSport Live on Twitter.
Here's the corner, swung in well, on the header's in, it's a goal! West Ham have equalised, and Cheku Kouyaté is celebrating. The equaliser for West Ham from the corner in the final minute of the first half.
This is Premier League Live.
Headed away that time by Stevens, and that's deflected and in! Ashley Young with a shot in top of Lewis Dunk, and it curls into the top corner. Ashley Young will take the credit for it, but it's a wicked deflection off of Lewis Dunk.
Kick-by-kick commentary, expert opinion, international coverage of the world's most exciting football league. Premier League Live, brought to you by TalkSport Live.
Go to TalkSport.com and sign up now to play the free TalkSport Predictor game. Predict the results of the English Premier League games this season for the chance to win top-flight weekly prizes. From the Gunners getting away goals at Anfield to epic finishes at the Etihad. Click TalkSport.com/predictor and register now for the chance to go top of the table in the ultimate football fan tournament. The TalkSport English Premier League Predictor game. Available online and for free at TalkSport.com/predictor.
Welcome back to TalkSport's coverage of Watford against Chelsea from Vicarage Road. I'm your host since he was appointed Chelsea manager last summer. He's won the same number of games as Pep Guardiola, but you get the feeling these next 45 minutes are going to be absolutely massive.
Treated at times, but yeah, it's not the Conte that we saw on the touchline last season when Chelsea were, dominating the Premier League, winning it with a style, with a swagger. It's been anything but. And I'm surprised, I'm shocked that he hasn't brought Olivier on at half time as well, to be fair.
And we are back off and underway.
Sometimes you've got to help yourself as well, Alex, to be fair. You've got Pedro and Hazard up front, two very, very similar players. You just haven't got anybody up there with any real presence to get hold of the ball, to put himself about, to knock the balls down into the likes of Hazard.
Chelsea in their blue shirts, blue shorts and white socks, shooting from right to left in this second period. Watford in the yellow shirts, black shorts and black socks. No change in personnel, as Ewan has already alluded to. So Watford will continue with the side that performed so superbly in that first half, of Karnizis in goal, Mariappa, Holibas and Prödl in the back three, Janmat and Ziegler the wing backs, Capoue and Decore holding in midfield, with Delafeu and Richarlison supporting Deeney up front. Chelsea down to 10 men, remember. Bakayoko sent off inside half an hour. Have Courtois in goal, Azpilicueta, David Luiz and Cahill are their back three. Moses and Zappacosta the wing backs, with Fabregas and Conte in midfield and Pedro in behind Azar up front.
I just think the game plan for Watford in this second half, just keep feeding the wing backs. Had plenty of joy in that first half, down both wings.
Courtois plays it out to Moses on the edge of his own penalty area, away to our right. Chelsea do have Olivier Giroud warming up at the start of this second half. It's a role that he's become accustomed to during his final days at Arsenal. Are you surprised Arsene Wenger allowed him to join a direct rival, Olivier Giroud?
I am, but he got his man, didn't he? He got Aubameyang.
Here's Ziegler for Watford, taking on Moses, trying to pull it back for Deeney. And then attempted to hook it towards Richarlison. Conte comes away with a ball for Chelsea.
I think I was more surprised by the transfer fee, to be honest. I thought it was a great bit of business by Chelsea.
They paid the same money, £18 million, that Swansea paid to take Ayew from West Ham.
Yeah, and Watford paid for Andre Gray from Burnley.
Very shrewd bit of business from Antonio Conte. It may well be one of his last acts as Chelsea manager, with his side trailing by a Troy Deeney penalty 4 minutes before the end of the first half. Giroud vigorously warming up now in front of the Watford fans over on that far side of the ground.
I'd be getting them on ASAP. I really would.
They need something to spark them into life here, Chelsea. Remember, they began the game just a point ahead of Tottenham. They would go up to third with a win ahead of Liverpool, but that looks a distant dream at this present time. It's really good play again by Richarlison. He's wriggled away from 2 or 3 Chelsea players inside the centre circle, then finds Deeney in space. Deeney holds it up, and it's with Ziegler, the Dutchman. Richarlison, who's been back to somewhere near his best form in these opening 49 minutes, pings the pass into the feet of Decore. Deulofeu lays it off for Janmaat. Deulofeu looks right at home in a Watford shirt as well. They've got so many attacking players. And here's Richarlison. He just had it nicked off his toe at the last minute by David Luiz. Otherwise he was in on goal.
It's a great ball into him, and once again he's cut in from that left hand side. I think it's Capoue with the ball into him. He wasn't offside, just has a heavy touch, and David Luiz just gets in there and tidies things up from a Chelsea point of view. But if he has a better touch to take himself inside that penalty box, I think he scores.
Long raking ball upfield from David Luiz.
It's all too easy though, Alex, isn't it?
Olivas wins it back for Watford, and then swiftly and briskly moves deep into the Chelsea territory. Gets it back, Olivas from Richarlison. As Peliqueta trying to retrieve possession for Chelsea, and they've won a throw. Eden Hazard also involved in that. We're going to see another yellow card here from Mike Dean. It's going to be Sebastian Prödl.
He was a bit late on Eden Hazard a couple of minutes ago. Fair play to Mike Dean. He let play go on. Not much in it, to be fair.
No, he went down easily, Hazard, as he has been known to do. Chelsea have lost 5 games this season. That's the same number as in the whole of the last campaign, and all 5 in London, 3 at home. They've also been beaten at Palace and at West Ham. They're losing again at Watford tonight as Zappacosta crosses into the area. Moses arriving at the far post. It was brave defending by Ziegler. There's been a clash of heads.
That's a great header. That really is a good defensive header, because he knows as that ball gets delivered into that back stick, he knows that Victor Moses is going to try his best to get on the end of it. And he knows by just getting that slightest of touches on the ball and clearing the danger, he's going to get clattered.
There's an excellent ball in from Zappacosta, probably the first time tonight, and he's really managed to find the good delivery.
That ball in from Zappacosta would have been perfect for Oliver Giroud on that back post, wouldn't it?
Would have been perfect for you and Roberts, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I'd have been licking my lips, I tell you, seeing that come over. But
I remember as a young lad seeing you score for Leicester at Fratton Park.
Yes, yeah, on a very wet, I think it was the FA Cup, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was, yeah. Tried my best to miss it, put it right in the roof of the net. I think we won 1-0, didn't we?
Yeah. 52 minutes play. Watford 1, Chelsea 0. Javi Gracia, who has a good grasp of the English language, having spoken to him after the Watford FA Cup defeat at Southampton, is issuing his instructions. If they can go on and win this game, Ewan, 4 points from Stoke away and Chelsea at home would be a very satisfactory start to his reign.
Yeah. You know, what would that put him on? 30 points? And you're thinking then, well, 3 wins should see you okay. And
you might only need 2. I think 36 might be enough.
I think you're right, 36, 37 nowadays. People say, let's get to the 40-point mark. I think you'd have to be really unlucky to go down on 37, 38 points. And you look at their next 3 games, they've got 2 at home against West Ham and West Brom. Two teams really struggling, and Everton. And Everton, sorry, they've got Everton at home and West Brom at home and West Ham away. I'm sorry.
Crucial triple header coming up for the Hornets.
I think Ziegler's in trouble here.
Yeah, he's still down, receiving treatment. Ziegler just gingerly being helped back to his feet.
I think he's okay, but I think he might have a cut on the back of his head.
They are much stricter now, of course, for the concussion rules as well. Mike Dean will want to be absolutely certain that he's not suffering from that. As we watch a replay of the cross in from Zappacosta.
I mean, he does get clattered. He's okay though. Bit of Vaseline always does the trick.
Chelsea back in action a week today. You can hear it live on Premier League Live. They take on West Bromwich Albion at Stamford Bridge. Then an FA Cup tie at home to Hull City of the Championship. Then the small matter of Barcelona in the Champions League, followed by Manchester United at Old Trafford. Will Antonio Conte still be in charge for that huge double header?
If they play like they have done up to now against Barcelona, it'll be all over after that first leg.
Jose Mourinho will be enjoying this up in Manchester in the Lowry Hotel where he resides. No love lost, of course, between Mourinho and Conte. Conte coming into this match with a 100% record against Watford, 3 wins from 3 matches against the London neighbours, but it's Watford with 10 minutes gone in the second half who still lead by a goal to nil. Here is Mariappa for Watford, finds Janmat. Janmat lofts it forward for Decore, tried to help it on his way to Deulofeu, who manages to wriggle free of David Luiz, and now he's going to try and take on Conte. Showed too much of it to the former Leicester man. It will be Zappacosta to run it clear for Chelsea. They're struggling really to keep the ball. Conte has outthought Decore, and here is Zappacosta down the left again. Now Fabregas. Moses has made a good run to the right. Lovely pirouette away from Hazard. And he's fed it into the feet of Moses. Moses with a cross to just the area again where Olivier Giroud would have been crying out for a chance, but there was nobody in a blue shirt inside the 6-yard box, and it rolls out for a throw on this near side.
It's a good move by Chelsea. Bit of width from that pass from Eden Hazard into Victor Moses. I say it's a good ball once again into the back post, but just no one there from Chelsea.
Chris Pope has tweeted in response to a tweet that I put out at half-time, saying that half an hour from Bakayoko was just about the worst performance I've ever seen from a Premier League player. He says, how about Dejan Lovren at Wembley earlier in this season, when of course he was substituted by Tottenham.
He's had a few as well, Lovren, hasn't he?
At the moment, Southampton certainly have come out better of that particular transaction. Do keep them coming at TalkSport Live. Can you think of a worse display from a top-flight player than that of the dismissed Bakayoko at TalkSport Live on Twitter? Chelsea playing their way out from the back here with Azpilicueta into the feet of Pedro. Fabregas.
Pedro having to drop so deep to get on the ball though, which means they've only got Hazard at top.
David Luiz strides forward towards the halfway line. That's never a good sign for a manager when you start falling out with high-profile players either, is it? As Conte has with David Luiz.
He did same with Costa as well, didn't he? I thought he dealt with that one quite poorly. Told him he was free to go via text. Never good.
And Costa was a popular figure in the dressing room as well, so that will have had knock-on effects.
It would do. And you're letting a 20-goal a man season.
It's incredible, the roller coaster of emotions that Chelsea fans must go through year after year. 1 minute they're winning titles, the next they're imploding. Here is Janmat, crosses into the penalty area. Charlton across the box, looking for Deeney, just slightly too heavy for Troy Deeney. And it's behind for a goal kick for Chelsea. We've played 13 minutes in the second half. It remains Watford 1, Chelsea 0. Ewan Roberts.
Deulofeu causing problems once again with his pace. Gary Cahill selling himself far too easily. And it's an intelligent header by Richarlison. Knows he can't score, knows he can't get the power that he needs on the header to beat Courtois. Heads it across the 6-yard box, hoping that Troy Deeney can get his and Watford's second goal.
David Luiz might be lucky to escape a yellow card here because he just kicked out on Ziegler, trying to help the wing back to his feet, but it is going to be a booking for the Chelsea central defender, and that is purely frustration. Knew he wasn't going to get the ball, he just lashed out with the left boot.
Yeah, just catches him on the calf, doesn't he? David Luiz frustrated, his team's not playing well. He's been in and out the side, mostly out.
David Luiz just takes a puff of the cheeks as Watford line up this free kick. Holebas has placed the ball down a yard from the touchline. Does have good delivery. Jose Holebas. Watford with plenty of aerial prowess.
Chelsea defended this one outside their own box, very high.
A couple of Watford players standing in offside positions. They'll come back onside when the ball is played in. Towards Decore at the now post. Deulofeu if you get a shot away here, and it wasn't too far from finding the bottom corner with Courtois scrambling to his left.
Gets his body over the ball. Deulofeu, pressure was on him, a lot of bodies in front of him, and I think even had it been on target, Courtois would have saved that one.
She took a nick off Richarlison. I think here's Deulofeu again. Let's fly. And once again, it's just wide of the bottom corners. Richarlison, in fact, coming in from the right after David Luiz had given it away on the edge of his own penalty area. Deeney sliding in. A snapshot from Richarlison with the goalkeeper beaten this time.
There's a time and a place to play out the back, and it just wasn't on there for Courtois to play that ball into David Luiz. You know, Watford were pressing high. So unlucky in the end by Richarlison. Not quite enough bend on that shot. He's looked lively again as the man from Brazil.
Yeah, it was a difficult winter for Richarlison, but maybe just coming out the other side. Certainly been much more vibrant than the Watford number 11 tonight. We've played 61 minutes as Antonio Conte leans against the dugout. Almost looks resigned to his fate.
He does. He's leaning on that post. He's just pointed to one of his staff as if to say, go on, get him on, call him over.
Olivier Giroud is being ready for his Chelsea debut.
Should have done it at half time for me. Brought him on. Don't tell me that Giroud couldn't give you 45 minutes.
Here is N'Golo Kanté over the halfway line into the feet of Hazard. Hazard turning away from Capoue.
I mean, that tells you everything about Chelsea. Your furthest man forward is Cesc Fabregas.
There's been no real presence all night leading the line for Chelsea, and you're not getting the best out of Eden Hazard in that.
No, you're not. No, you're
false
not.
number 9 role either.
That's not his strength. His strength is just dropping slightly deeper, playing off a centre forward.
Well, Fabregas has gone lunging in on Deulofeu. He will be booked when play is stopped, but the referee Mike Dean again has played a good advantage here as far as Watford are concerned. Decore 15 yards inside the Chelsea half. There's a Chelsea man down on the edge of his own penalty area, but Watford are going to play on. Capoue into the feet of Deeney. This move's still alive. Janmaat with a left-footed effort, well wide, and it will be a goal kick for Chelsea.
Will we see Mike Dean going back? Yes. There we are.
Good bit of refereeing.
Yeah. Fabregas
poor challenge from Fabregas.
Yeah, he was late. Good play once again. He slides in, nowhere near the ball. I think he's done okay tonight, Deulofeu. I think he's looked really lively down that right hand side. Got the penalty.
So booking for Fabregas. They're mounting up. It was Pedro who
I think he's
being treated for a shoulder injury.
I think he's the man that's going to be making way for Olivier Giroud anyway.
cost £18 million. He signed an 18-month contract. He wears the number 18. Olivier Giroud has 27 minutes to save this game for Chelsea, as he did so often in an Arsenal shirt from the bench. He did take 7 games, though, to get his first Gunners goal. For those Chelsea fans hoping for an immediate impact from their new centre-forward. Pedro being helped off by 2 members of the Chelsea medical staff. He can't put any weight on the left leg. I think he may well have been the player who would have been, I think, substituted anyway.
You're not going to take Eden Hazard off. You're going to keep him on because Giroud needs feeding, he needs service, and there's no one better than Hazard for Chelsea to create, to assist.
Well, as poor as they've been for 64 minutes, Chelsea,
they're still in the game.
Still in the game.
Still in the game. Only 1 goal in it. Yes, they're down to 10 men, but now they've got a number 9 up there. They can knock those long balls up now. They can mix play up. They can play into Hazard's feet.
And no team in the Premier League has dropped more points from winning positions this season than Watford. 16 points they've thrown away.
Soon they'll at Stamford Bridge, wouldn't they? And lost the game 3-2. Or was it 4-2 in the end?
Yeah. Here is Hazard coming over to the left-hand side. Zapacosta looked a bit cumbersome, but he's won himself a throw off Deulofeu.
He's got immaculate hair. Not hair out of place, Oliver Giroud.
It's impressive. Watford are making a change as well. Richarlison has run his race. And on in his place will be Roberto Pereira, the former Juventus man. And a good shift from Richarlison, not giving that Chelsea defence a minute's peace as he gets a pat on the back from Javi Gracia. Pereira actually scored in that 4-2 defeat at Stamford Bridge that we've just been discussing. Fresh legs for these final 25 minutes. Watford 1, Chelsea 0 is the score.
I have to be honest as well, Chelsea don't look like scoring. I remember 1 save or 1 effort on goal on target.
You can see already they're going much more direct, though. David Luiz has just put a long ball into the penalty area, which Watford have cleared, and here comes Doucouré. The lung-busting run at the other end. Doucouré with a shot. Smart save from Courtois to his right-hand side, and he turns the effort from Doucouré behind for a corner.
Brilliant by Doucouré. Deeney putting Cahill under pressure. Cahill can only head the ball straight to Doucouré. It's a strong run, doesn't get closed down by Cahill. And it's a well-struck shot with that left foot of his in the end. Good height for Courtois. Sharp save.
Doucouré almost bringing up a half-century of Watford appearances with a goal. It's their 6th corner now. Chelsea yet to have any. Towards Pruitt at the near post. Cleared by Cahill. Only as far as Deulofeu. Thought about the shot, but then rolled it off to Capoue. Watford just need to keep the ball and grind down the 10 men of Chelsea into submission.
Just got to make that extra man count. Extra body in midfield. He's got to keep moving. Yeah, make it long, get players wide. Just take no risks whatsoever defensively.
They've only won 13 points at home all season, Watford. This would be a massive boost to their chances of staying in the Premier League, and you have to say, on what we've seen so far, they shouldn't be down there anyway. Here's Zapacosta. As poor as Chelsea have been, you can take nothing away from the Watford performance to this point. Here's Hazard, though, as Conte was taken down crudely off the ball, but the referee again allows play to continue, and Hazard has floated it out to the right-hand side, and Azpilicueta. Now Moses, right corner of the penalty area. Watford defending superbly, forcing Chelsea back to the halfway line.
Plenty of men behind the ball, Watford. There's no little gaps to play the ball into for Chelsea. Good pressure as well, working extremely hard, Watford.
Azpilicueta into Moses. Moses taking on Ziegler. And Pereira makes his way into the box. He tried to steer it into the path of Giroud. It was cleared by Holibas, but he's back in towards Olivier Giroud. Over the crossbar, the last touch was off a Watford player, and Chelsea in the 68th minute have their first corner of the game.
That's what he wants. He thrives on crosses, but this time, to be fair, Sebastian Prodl, he was nice and tight. He was the man that got the final touch, but a good strong run down that right hand side by Victor Moses, creating the opportunity.
Fabregas has got plenty of height on the corner, but Giroud has been adjudged to a foul. Prodl. Free kick for Watford. Prodl not happy with Giroud trying to help him back to his feet. He did lean with the left arm.
He does get an elbow, doesn't he, Prodl? Oliver Giroud holds his hand up. He can have no complaints. The referee gave a free kick.
Antonio Conte chewing on gum. Bruce Buck, the long-standing chairman, watching on from the director's box.
I don't know if that's a smile or a grimace.
Well, he wouldn't be the first Chelsea manager to be fired the season after winning the Premier League title.
It's what they do, Alex, isn't it? It is what they do. Rightly or wrongly, works for them.
Watford have a throw. They lead by a goal to nil. We've got 21 minutes remaining. Holibas again, wiping the ball down with his shirt. Andre Gray, the substitute, warming up, just has a conversation with Holibas. Maybe passing on some tactics from Javi Gracia. Holibas is looking for Deeney at the near post. I'm sure that he really needed to be told to do that. It's pretty evident that Chelsea have got the ball clear. Azpilicueta into Azar, who's seeing more of it now since Giroud came on. Giroud can't hold it up though. Watford have it back with Ziegler. Deeney, who must be running on empty, having not played too much football in recent weeks, has run the ball out for Watford. And Chelsea have a throw 7 yards inside their own half of the field. Hazard with a lovely layoff to Fabregas, almost nonchalant there.
Just good, great awareness, wasn't it, by Hazard? He knew where Fabregas was. He'd had a look over his shoulder.
Conte switches it out to Moses down the right, hugging that touchline now, Victor Moses. Chelsea under instructions, no doubt, just to get the ball into the box and try and give Giroud something to feed off. Here is Moses, intercepted by Decore, but it falls kindly to ricochet for Azpilicueta. Here is Fabregas now. Watford just looking a bit heavy on their feet all of a sudden. It's been a big shift put in by the Hornets. They still have 20 minutes to get this job done. They lead 1-0. Decore with a lovely ball to Janmaat, who's in space inside the Chelsea half. Now Deulofeu takes over on this near right touchline. Janmaat into the feet of Capoue, sensibly done by Watford. Back with Mariappa now well inside their own half.
At the minute, you wouldn't be able to tell that Chelsea are down to 10 men. I mean, their best period in the game.
You could argue they were playing with 10 men even before Bakayoko went off. Or maybe the Watford were playing with 12.
Yeah. He's Watford's best player.
Here is Capoue for Watford.
Just get the feeling Watford need that second goal.
Capoue trying to find it for them, but he shot from miles out. It lacked power, it lacked precision, and it will be a goal kick for Chelsea.
71 minutes gone. Chelsea will come, they will create an opportunity. Whether they'll take it, we'll have to wait and see, but they will create one chance. I remember a few weeks ago I was at Vicarage Road when Swansea were the visitors. Is he crying there, Richarlison?
Well, he certainly looks far from happy, and there are tears in his eyes, Richarlison. Incredible. If that's a reaction to being substituted. Here is Fabregas now on the halfway line for Chelsea. David Luiz comes forward with the ball over halfway. Giroud will be the target inside the penalty area, but it's steered away by Prodl. Collected by Conte, and then a handball against Capoue. A bit unlucky there because it struck him from point blank range. I'm not sure he could have got his arm out the way, Etienne Capoue. Chelsea have wasted no time in taking the free kick, and it's Azpilicueta who plays it forward this time, but over the head of Giroud and collected by Karnezis. This is Decore. Watford supporters trying to rally their team for one final push, and Pereira's found Decore inside the area, pulls it back for Dini. Deulofeu can finish it here. Can he get the shot away? Deulofeu, no, he's forced wide, and maybe the chance has gone, but here's Janmaat, blocked by Fabregas.
Good play by Watford down that left-hand side, and Troy Deeney just couldn't get the space that he needed to get half a turn and a shot on goal. He had to feed Deulofeu, and as you say, he took a touch too many and was closed down by Zappacosta, and the chance had gone. But a really good move down that left-hand side for the Hornets.
Fabregas looking for Azar. Capoue slides in and wins it back for Watford. Pereira can't keep it.
Sloppy by Pereira.
This is Fabregas. Exchanging 1-2 with Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta into Azar, lays it off for Fabregas. They've got a bit of swagger back, Chelsea, as we move into the last 16 minutes. But as I say, that Conte has given it away tamely. And Watford can counter, can they, with Capoue? Turned away from David Luiz, but Cahill was aware of the danger.
He just did enough, didn't he, David Luiz? I think Capoue had one eye on Luiz, one eye on the ball.
But a tough night for Gary Cahill as well, as he concedes possession. Played it out for a throw. Javi Gracia again, pointing furiously. Now on the edge of his technical area. We've not seen too much of Antonio Conte in this second half.
They will get nervous, Watford, as they go into 80 minutes plus. So going back to that Swansea game, they were 1-0 up, they missed chances. Andre Gray had a great chance to put the game to bed, and then they conceded 2 goals in the last 4 minutes to Swansea City. They will get nervous unless they get that second goal.
You just feel even a man like Chelsea do have enough quality to at least create a couple of scoring opportunities. They haven't done so far. It's been a very quiet night for Karnezis. He probably didn't expect that, the veteran Greek. Can't really think of too many saves.
I don't think he has. He's come for a couple of crosses and dealt with them quite comfortably. But when Chelsea have got themselves in decent position, I think Pedro in the first half and Willian in the first half both shot horribly high and wide.
David Luiz, it's all a bit desperate for Chelsea. Again, he tries to pick out Giroud with a long ball, but it was always going to carry through for Karnezis.
I think they're trying to force things now that Oliver Giroud's come on. They've got that 6'3" centre forward on. I think they're just trying to force things.
Mauricio Pochettino among those watching on from the stands, the Tottenham manager. I'm sure he would possibly be on Abramovich's list to replace Antonio Conte. There aren't too many contenders, are there?
I've got a feeling that
get Avram Grant back again.
Carlos Ancelotti might make a return to the club. I think he's got a little bit of unfinished, but I think he's another manager that was very unlucky to have lost his job.
Holibas shoots from a long way out, but straight down the throat of Courtois.
Well, he doesn't get close down, does he? He's what, 30-35 yards out, doesn't get closed down. The angle isn't easy for him. Straight to Courtois, comfortably dealt with by the Belgian goalkeeper.
16 goal attempts for Watford, just the 3 from Chelsea, who trail 1-0.
None on target.
And they haven't yet called Karnezis into a meaningful save. Conte now stood haunched over with his hands in his pockets. David Luiz comes tiptoeing over the halfway line. He's looking for Giroud again. The right idea, but the execution wasn't quite spot on, and the ball carries behind for a goal kick.
Good movement by Oliver Giroud. It's been well spotted by David Luiz, but it's just not the right pass, just slightly too much on the pass, as Giroud had got himself on the shoulders of Sebastian Prodl. Once again, nothing for the Watford goalkeeper to do.
Watford 1, Chelsea 0. Chelsea down to 10 men when Timu Bakayoko was sent off inside half an hour for 2 yellow cards, and Troy Deeney giving Watford the lead from the penalty spot after Delafeu had been brought down by Courtois. That's the tale of the tape so far. Chelsea running out of time to get back in this match. Encouragement for Tottenham and Arsenal in this desperate scramble for the Champions League places. You do feel the two Manchester clubs will occupy the top 2 places, but it's very much 2 from 4 after that. At the moment, you'd have to say that Arsenal and Chelsea look the most likely to miss out.
Well, Arsenal give themselves a chance with that result on Saturday, and if this score stays the same, I think Spurs and Arsenal will be absolutely delighted. They'll be willing Watford on to keep hold of this 1-goal lead that they've got. But I think you're right, Alex. I think Arsenal could miss out on a top 4 finish once again. I just think defensively they're not quite good enough.
They're always capable of producing the type of display they did against Everton when the pressure's off. But
they're always capable as well of going to a club like Swansea who are fighting for their lives and losing that game.
Absolutely. This would be an unwanted hat-trick for Chelsea as well. Defeats against Palace, West Ham and Watford. But here's Decore trying to finish it off. Good defensive play by Fabregas. Still Watford coming forward. Janmaat sweeps it out to the left-hand side, and Pereira, that mop of blonde hair, onto his right foot. Pereira, it took a deflection. It was still a comfortable enough save for Courtois.
Always wants to come in inside on that right foot because Pereira. It's a well-struck shot along the floor, but comfortable for Courtois.
Here's Conte for Chelsea, the French Player of the Year in 2017, and he's found Hazard ahead of it. Hazard with Capoue for company. Still manages to squeeze the pass out to the right, Victor Moses. And then Moses into the area where Hazard continued his run. Still just haven't been able to get the ball up to Olivier Giroud enough, Chelsea, since the big Frenchman came on. Here's Conte, being used to shoot by the Chelsea fans. Opts instead to play it into the feet of Fabregas, and has Peliqueta then to Moses. Again, it's all a bit laboured from Chelsea, trying to pick their way through. Hazard can do that. Pulls it back for Azpilicueta. Fabregas with a shot. Well, that's as close as they come all night. It's a good save by Karnezis down low to his left.
It's brilliant by Eden Hazard. It's a lovely little 1-2. He pulls the ball back superbly to Eden Hazard. It's just a tame shot in the end. He tried to pass it in. It's a nice dummy by Azpilicueta. Comfortable save for the goalkeeper.
This game fascinatingly poised. Fabregas over the top for Hazard. Giroud's made a good run to his right. He couldn't quite nod the ball into his direction, and it's hoisted away by Holibas.
Troy Deeney screaming at his defenders to push up.
Well, I mentioned it at the start of this second half, when you've only won 1 in 12 in the Premier League and you're looking nervously down towards the bottom 3. The anxiety is always going to creep in.
And the tendency is to drop deeper and deeper and deeper and just defend just outside your own penalty box and invite pressure.
Hazard trying to make space for himself on the edge of the area, shoots right-footed. That is an unbelievable goal from Eden Hazard to get Chelsea out of the mire and maybe extend Antonio Conte's stay at Stamford Bridge. It's the type of goal only Eden Hazard can score. And after 82 minutes of quite shambolic football for the champions, a moment of real quality from their number 10 to make it Watford 1, Chelsea 1.
It's a great play, it's a great goal. Gets a turn, pulls it onto his right foot, and it has to be absolutely inch perfect by Eden Hazard, right in the left-hand corner. Absolutely no chance for Karnezis in that Watford goal. And Troy Deeney is absolutely fuming with his defenders. Only a few seconds before that goal, he was screaming at them to squeeze up, push up. And Chelsea now then, with 8 minutes to go, will they go on and try and win this game?
Here's Delafeu at the other end, looking to get Watford back in front right from the restart. Ziegler with a cross, or it could have gone anywhere after looping off Moses, and it was plucked from the sky by Courtois. What a finish we're in for now. Eden Hazard with his 13th goal of the season. Unlucky for Watford, but what a hit. That is why Real Madrid are desperate to sign him. That is why Chelsea won't want to see him leave.
He's a special player, isn't he? He really is a special player. And if you just got the feeling that if Chelsea were going to get back into this game, he would have something to do, either create the goal or, as he has done, score it himself. Here he goes again.
Well, he looks like he's in the mood now, Hazard. Credit to Capoue for stepping in and winning it back for Watford. And he's got Delafeu inside the penalty area. Oh, he tried to lift it over Courtois, and it's only just wide. He had the beating of David Luiz, all right. And Delafeu was so close to putting Watford back in front.
I just think he takes it too early. Great play by Capoue. Big and strong, powerful. Great run by Delafeu. He gets the other side of David Luiz. Luiz isn't catching him. I just think he can take it closer to the goal. He can have a touch and then maybe shoot. But takes it first time, and then it's always hard to control that shot. There's Janmaat.
Janmaat into the feet of Pereira. He's got a chance here, Janmaat! And Watford are back in front within 2 minutes of conceding. The Hornets have come out with a late sting in the tail. Daryl Janmaat with his first ever goal at Vicarage Road. And Antonio Conte is looking glum-faced again. Watford 2, Chelsea 1.
Well, he dances through that Chelsea defence. He starts to move, he picks it up on this right-hand side, he goes inside, he plays the ball into Delafeu. Lovely little 1-2. He leaves Tim Cahill for dead, who's not happy, but he can only look at himself, Tim Cahill. And he keeps his head, does Daryl Janmaat. Lovely couple of touches, draws the goalkeeper out, and it's a top-class finish. It's a finish, in the end, that a player of Eden Hazard's ability would be happy with. It's a terrific goal by Daryl Janmaat.
What an incredible couple of minutes at Vicarage Road. No sooner had Hazard got Chelsea on level terms than Janmaat has got Javi Gracia doing a jig of joy once again on the touchline. They have 5 minutes plus added time to hang on.
So impressed with the way he kept his head. Picked it up on this right hand side, he drifted inside. Nice little 1-2 with Delafeu, who's been a handful tonight. But poor defending by Gary Cahill. Far too easily beaten.
Janmaat switches it out to the left, and Pereira thought about going for the corner flag and then realised it's too long left in the game. Here is Decore. Deeney trying to lead from the front, holds it up for Pereira. Gets possessed inside the penalty area though, and here come the 10 men of Chelsea again. What a fabulous weekend it's been in the Premier League. And what a dramatic conclusion to this game.
Well, he dangles his foot as Delafeu, as Hazard's dancing through once again. Just dangles the foot, tries to win the ball.
It's a free kick for Chelsea in decent position inside the Watford half. They've gone short rather than playing it long towards Giroud. And Spelaqueta plays it down the line for Moses on the right hand side. Now David Luiz. Watford again sitting very deep, inviting pressure. David Luiz up towards Cahill, held up by Giroud on the edge of the area. Zappacosta, what are you doing there? Shooting from 35 yards, and he had a Watford player a yard in front of him.
I think it was Decore right in front of him.
Decore makes the block, and now Chelsea have to build again from Fabregas on the halfway line. Giroud beats in the air by Prudhomme, who's had a really good game up against the substitute for Chelsea. Hazard. Can he produce another moment of magic? Thought he was fouled there by Mariappa. Referee had a good view of it and said no. And Watford have got 2 on 2. Delafeu leading the charge. Deeney to Chelsea, an absolute shambles again defensively, but take nothing away from Gerard Delafeu. He started the counter
by David Luiz. It's a good run by Troy Deeney, but as you say, shambolic, absolutely shambolic defending by David Luiz and Gary Cahill. Cahill doesn't do anything, and the ball in the end deflects off his studs past Courtois in the goal. The goal will be De La Foy's, but very, very poor defensively for the second time in the space of a couple of minutes for Chelsea.
Watford are responding by making a change, and De La Foy, having surely wrapped up the points, is getting a warm ovation as he makes his way off.
I think he's done really well. He's been nice and positive. You know, he made the first goal when he was brought down by Courtois. He's used his pace in really intelligent ways, but he should never have been allowed to pick that ball up on the halfway line and run all the way through from the halfway line into the Chelsea penalty box and finish that chance he had. Someone's got to put a challenge in on him.
Andre Carrillo, the Peruvian, is the player who's come on to replace De La Foy. The goal officially timed at 88 minutes. The third goal in 7 minutes.
3 goals conceded against Bournemouth, who weren't having the best of seasons. Now struggling Watford have scored 3 against Chelsea.
Well, they might get more yet.
They're not done, are they?
Carrillo into Deeney on the edge of the area. Janmaat back to Deeney. Chelsea being utterly humiliated here by the Hornets. As Ewan has said, in fact it comes so quickly after that Bournemouth capitulation. Surely means the writing is on the wall for Conte. They've gone from having the league title sewn up by the end of February last year to looking like a team who couldn't win a raffle. Quite an incredible decline. 6 added minutes, it will make no difference at all to the outcome. Watford 3-1 and cruising.
Probably for the first time in this second half, they're passing the ball about full of confidence, which you'd expect with a 2-goal cushion. Didn't really do this for the previous 45 minutes of this half. Caused themselves problems, did Watford.
Giroud has been caught cheaply in possession inside his own half by Carrillo, and here's Pereira. Can they finish it off here? Oh yes they can! Another super finish from Roberto Pereira. Well, he scored in the 4-2 defeat at Stamford Bridge, but this one will mean so much more for Watford. He sealed a quite magnificent victory in Javi Grazia's first game in charge. And if I were you, Antonio Conte, I'd find your suitcase, because you are on your travels. Watford 4, Chelsea 1.
Looks a broken man, doesn't he, Antonio Conte? Oliver Giroud gets caught in possession. Doucouré, little reverse pass into Pereira. Doesn't get closed down by Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta's got to get tighter, surely. He finishes it ever so well. It's a powerful shot right into the corner. No chance for Courtois. But if you let good players have that amount of space and time in the penalty box, I'm afraid you're going to get punished.
The champions are being utterly destroyed at Vicarage Road by a Watford team, let's not forget, who won only 1 of their last dozen Premier League matches. Troy Deeney is the latest player to be taken off by Javi Grazia. A big smile as Andre Gray comes on to replace him.
He'll fancy getting a goal, Andre Gray. There's 4 minutes to go. What, 3 goals in the space of 4 minutes for Watford? 4-5 minutes?
3 goals in the space of 8 minutes after Eden Hazard had come up with that special goal to equalise for Chelsea. That will be just a footnote now in what is likely to be Antonio Conte's Stamford Bridge obituary. There are some pretty solemn faces in the away end here at Vicarage Road.
And you touched on it, I think, in the first half. Leaders. There's no leaders in that Chelsea team.
The worrying thing for an England fan is that Gary Cahill's probably going to be in Gareth Southgate's World Cup squad. Well, this performance will be coming home pretty quickly.
For the second and third goal, just shocking defending by the captain. Absolutely shocking defending.
Take nothing away from Watford. To quote Troy Deeney from earlier in the season after they beat Arsenal, they needed to show some kahunas tonight. Well, they've certainly done that.
Especially after the Eden Hazard's goal.
Here is Hazard, to his credit, still trying to make something happen for Chelsea. He'll be on the first plane to Madrid in the summer.
He looks as if he's the only player that cares.
Here he is again.
Who's taken a pride in his performance.
It's been a really bad night for the champions, the latest in a pretty terrible week. Zappacosta into N'Golo Conte. Here he is again, Conte, 20 yards outside the penalty area. Fabregas with a cross into the area. Giroud nods it across the box, but it's guided away by the excellent Holibas. I don't think you can hear it clearly on the pitch side microphones, but it's the Chelsea fans, to their credit, who are still singing Champions of England. You'll never sing that, is the taunt towards their Watford counterparts. I don't think the home supporters can care one hoot just at the moment. Here's Fabregas into Hazard, who's offside, but again he's still running.
He looked offside. He did look offside, Eden Hazard, but he's never given up. Scored a terrific goal, been involved in everything that's been good from Chelsea tonight, and I have to be honest, there hasn't been a lot for the Chelsea fans to sing about, but he's never given up, Eden Hazard, unlike many of his teammates.
Antonio Conte sporting a silver Rolex on his left wrist. You feel he could be running out of time at Stamford Bridge. To lose 3-0 at home to Bournemouth was bad enough. To lose 4-1 against a Watford side devoid of any confidence coming into this game is nothing short of unforgivable for the champions.
7 goals in 2 games. It's just unheard of from a Costa team. Conte team, not a Costa team.
Maybe there should be a Costa team. As Hazard flicks it on for Giroud. Was he onside, Olivier Giroud?
I think he was, you know. I think he was. Clever little header.
He was onside.
He's onside. Good save by the goalkeeper.
And a terrific save with the legs of Karnazes.
Even though the game's all over, Olivier Giroud would have loved to have scored his first goal for Chelsea.
He might get a chance yet from the corner. Watford, though, with plenty of men back to clear it away. The 6 added minutes are up, and there is the full-time whistle. A memorable night for Watford and their new manager Javi Gracia, who starts his Vicarage Road reign with a quite fantastic victory. But as Antonio Conte heads straight down the tunnel, is he heading for the goal queue? The champions utterly humiliated. They looked like they were going to rescue a point when Hazard conjured a magnificent equaliser. But 3 late goals from the Hornets have given us a final scoreline of Watford 4, 10-man Chelsea 1. A huge moment for both these clubs. Troy Deeney against Thibaut Courtois, and Deeney gives Watford the lead. He looks to the heavens. It could be a goal that transforms the Hornets season and plunges Antonio Conte closer to the exit door at Stamford Bridge, because with 4 minutes to go in this first half, it is Watford 1, Chelsea 0. Hazard trying to make space for himself on the edge of the area, shoots right footed. That is an unbelievable goal from Eden Hazard to get Chelsea out of the mire and maybe extend Antonio Conte's stay at Stamford Bridge. It's the type of goal only Eden Hazard can score. Janmaat into the feet of Pereira. He's got a chance here, Janmaat, and Watford are back in front within 2 minutes of conceding. The Hornets have come up with a late sting in the towel. Daryl Janmaat with his first ever goal at Vicarage Road, and Antonio Conte is looking glum-faced again. Watford 2, Chelsea 1, Deulofeu leading the charge. Deeney to his left. Will he take on David Luiz? And Cahill! Deulofeu finishes the game for Watford. Chelsea, an absolute shambles again defensively, but take nothing away from Gerard Deulofeu. He started the counter-attack. He just ran and ran like the road runner that he is. And when he needed to find some composure and find the bottom corner, he delivered. Drew has been caught cheaply in possession inside his own half by Carrillo. And here's Pereira. Can they finish it off here? Oh, yes, they can! Another super finish from Roberto Pereira. Well, he scored in the 4-2 defeat at Stamford Bridge, but this one will mean so much more for Watford. So a quite incredible night at Vicarage Road. It finished here, Watford 4, Chelsea 1. You are listening to Premier League Live.
Premier League football is a truly global game, and TalkSport is the global audio partner of the Barclays Premier League.
It's a massive goal!
With live commentary of all 380 matches this season, available at TalkSport.com in English, Spanish or Mandarin every weekend.
What a goal! What a fantastic strike!
The event horizon of world-class football. Visit TalkSport.com to find out more.
If you're outside the UK and Ireland, we've got you covered.
Gets away from another. Curled it into the top corner. It is a moment of Merseyside magic from Mo Salah. He's done it again. His 19th of the season.
TalkSport's international service covers every Premier League match live.
Defoe in the penalty area. Dips one. Oh, that is a magnificent goal from Jermaine Defoe. Absolutely stunning from Jermaine Defoe.
Full commentary, pre and post match analysis, and goals as they go in from every single Premier League match.
Lanzini back to Arnautovic. He's inside the box. There is his first goal for West Ham. Arnautovic took it beautifully. He curled it low past Courtois.
Hear goals as they go in from around the grounds during our featured commentary match.
Rolls it into the feet. Little layup. Arfield can get punched back. 5 minutes. 1-0. Arfield opens the scoring in the 45th minute. Burnley's strike against the 10th man of Watford.
Every game is covered.
Boyd lifts it in left-footed. It's a deep cross. It's headed on by Mounier, and it's 2 for Mounier. Well, like London buses, the goals are now pouring in for Steve Mounier.
Get involved in debates, ask in-game questions to our commentary team, and get goal updates with @TalkSport Live on Twitter.
Here's Gale. Good shot, goal! Dwight Gale's put Newcastle level. Crisp low shot from the edge of the penalty area. Low pass, Schmeichel in a flag.
This is Premier League Live.
Crosses to Olivier Giroud. Equaliser for Arsenal, and as so often, Olivier Giroud off the bench to rescue Arsene Wenger.
Kick-by-kick commentary, expert opinion, international coverage of the world's most exciting football league. Premier League Live, brought to you by TalkSport Live.
The TalkSport £1 million predictor game involves the two things in life you love the most.
Football and money.
Exactly predict 10 or more Premier League scores and win £1 million sterling.
The TalkSport £1 million predictor game.
Register now at TalkSport.com/predictor and play for free throughout the season. Win £1 million sterling.
£1 million.
Players must be 18 or over. See TalkSport.com/predictor for full conditions. League Live with Talk Sport.
Completely free in the penalty area again is Alvaro Morata, and this time with a powerful header high into the top corner. He makes no mistake.
Bringing you all the goals from every game right across the country from the world's biggest and best league.
Here's De Bruyne again. This time he's found the net. Drills it low with his left foot into the corner.
English football at its finest.
Sermon with a corner, Cook with a header. Bournemouth win the game in stoppage time.
Premier League Live with Talk Sport.
Hello and welcome to TalkSport's coverage of Arsenal against Manchester United from the